the home win, and it's Anaheim's playing pretty well, and they're in the playoff race. So,
yeah.
Where does that make your brain go?
Well, first we need to win at home. It's we need to start getting wins at home. Our fans deserve it. Been here all year, supporting us every game. It's time for all of us to give back.
Robin, you're right to that, but let me ask you this. 14 wins. Is it the group of the guys? Is it the coaching? Is it the scheme? Is it you guys not? I mean, what is it? What can you got to presume? Is it a combination of things? But 14 wins is far in the season. Home or not a home,
No, it's a lot of things, but in the end of the day, 14 wins is it's just not enough. I think we all know that. We have about 24 one-goal game losses, if you count away the open netters, I think. That's the frustrating part for me. We can talk about the 14 wins all we want, but we need to find those 22 to 24 might be a little bit more. I don't know exactly. One goal game losses. Count away that. That's figuring it out in those areas is all from me making one more save, everything, to someone scoring one more goal, to a little bit better in the PP and PK. All of the things adds up. But it also tells me that, for me personally, it also tells me that it's right there. It's right there, but it's so far away. It's that's what it tells me. But in the end of the day, effort's got to be there every day. That's what the good teams do. Effort is it's an automatic. It's nothing you pat yourself in the back for after a game that you tried hard today. That's just automatic. It's the NHL. Then it comes to details of the game. The details of the game wins games for you. Structure of the game wins the games for you. You lean on your structure when momentum switches, or when you're tired, or when it's a 1-1 game. That's when you lean on your structure, and we've had a hard time doing that. We have a good structure in place, but we're not leaning on our structure. And if you don't do that, and other teams we play lean on their structures, usually they win the games.
You've only allowed 3 goals in your last 4 games. Do your preparations, are they more difficult when even if you only give up 1 goal, you might not win?
I mean, you guys asked me that question a bunch of times this year, but it's really, my job is to stop the puck. It's mentally hard sometimes, but I had a little, you could say, a little dip a couple of weeks ago. But all in all, this season, I feel like I've been playing pretty good. And through and throughout the season, depending on how a team is playing and stuff, that dip might have been worse. That dip might have been not a dip at all. This is a team game where when someone makes a mistake, your teammates should be there and back you up. And that's primarily what my job is. I save pucks that's from mistakes. That's what happens. And we got to be that, try to get to that layered team that backs each other up. It feels like when a mistake is being made, sometimes it becomes a big mistake because we might just be there backing each other up. But I have a lot of belief in a lot of players in this team. The frustrating part for me was we went out on a West Coast road trip. We let in 1 goal in 3 games. We see what works. We see that the structure that we played out there, it works. It was no fluke. It was no, they played bad in any means. We played great. Mm-hmm. Then we come home and we don't do the same things. And then it's time for all of us to look ourselves in the mirror and try to understand why. And that answer I do not have for you.
Have any of you guys, any leaders, just said, let's get in a room and look at these games again because something didn't work?
Look at every game.
Yeah.
That's how the NHL works. We look at every game. After every win, after every loss, we look at the game. And trying to find, but you know what? It's really, what are you going to look at? We know. We know what's going wrong. Like, when we were good out there, we were back checking, we were hitting, we were finishing checks, we were working for each other, we were boxing out, we were playing hard for each other. you know, I made saves, Johnny made saves. I mean, and we come back here and we just stick away from it, all of us. So the answer, I don't know. It's I do know that when we played our game, we're pretty good. We're a pretty good hockey team, and also there's, except the last little bit, teams are not blowing us out. They're not blowing us out. We're in games. Majority of games, we're in games. We have pulled the goalie. We have 1 goal to catch up, or they have pulled the goalie, you know, or we're losing in overtime. You know, it's it sucks. There's no excuses. I hate the situation. I hate what we have to go through because it's our own fault, and I hate that we disappoint our fans, rightfully so. But all we can do is work and ignore you guys. Don't care about you guys whatsoever, and stick together as a team. And when it turns, it's going to feel great. It's going to feel real good, and it's going to feel real good for the fans when this turns around. And I really hope that's going to happen for this organization, with or without me, with or without whoever. Change is probably going to happen, but this organization, this team deserves better.
Thanks, buddy.